Growing up, I didn't like my hair. I hated my curls. I hated my natural hair. And I think it came from, my family, not only here, but in Panama, just always saying, oh, like, pelo malo, avanza la raza type of comments.
Pelo malo, bad hair, is a phrase that many Afro-Latinos have heard multiple times throughout their lives. A phrase that is often internalized. But where does it come from, and why is our hair so problematic for some people? Hair texture was one of the many rationalizations of the perceived subhuman status of the African. Professor Silvio Torres-Sayan tells NPR, he says the focus on hair began as Europeans tried to rationalize their dominance and superiority. And that idea of pelo malo versus pelo bueno, bad hair versus good hair, has been around for generations.
Hi, my name is Annie Hughes. I'm from Tampa, Florida. I was born in Fort Lauderdale. Both of my parents are Panamanian, and they moved here before me and my siblings were born. So we grew up here our entire lives. And from a very young age, I was told or taught that, if you had straight hair, that's like better than a fro or curly hair or, textured hair. And so I always wanted to straighten my hair from a very young age. My mom would straighten my hair, she would blow dry, I would get the rollos and flat iron my hair. And, that's how I would go to school. I would go to school with straight hair. And of course, we live in Florida, so that doesn't last long, and so you would have to continue to do it over and over, causing hair damage and such. And then eventually, I think when I started high school was my first experience with perming my hair. So I would chemically, straighten my hair. With that method, I was able to still wear my hair, curly, but the curls were a lot looser. When it came down to straightening my hair, it was just a lot more manageable because the texture was different.
My name is Daniel Rodriguez. My Afro-Latino roots stem from my father, who was born in the Dominican Republic, and my mother from Puerto Rico. I was born in New York and raised in the city of Chicago. Growing up, I quickly learned how some features were favored over others, and how a lot of them stem from Eurocentric and racist backgrounds. My siblings and I always had to make sure our hair was well groomed. Nappy hair or pelo malo, especially my sisters, who had tighter curls. I kept my hair short because either my school's rules banned us from having certain hairstyles, or just so I wouldn't have to deal with the questions about my identity or scolded for my hair looking a certain way.
I'll admit, I still don't love my hair. I still don't know how to style it properly or wear it naturally. I prefer it straight, and I pay other people to do it. Over time, I've become more tolerant of my hair, and I've learned to accept it, but I wouldn't say I love it. Growing up, I used to be jealous of other girls who had long, straight, flowing hair. I remember this girl in elementary school. Her hair looked like Pocahontas, and I couldn't understand why mine couldn't look like that. I remember Saturdays spent at the hair salon, surrounded by smoke from hair dryers that never stopped running, and Dominican women yelling, laughing, and gossiping. I too started going to the hair salon and getting my hair chemically straightened at a young age. My hairstylist has watched me grow up. When she moved locations, my mother and I would follow. To manipulate one's texture was about access to freedom under slavery, the homogenization of Latinidad through African erasure, says Dr. Mako Fitzward. One of the strongest links between Latinos and African Americans in the U.S. is our shared experience with colorism and the politics of hair, she says.
Hello, my name is Justin Ross, and I'm going to tell you a story about my ramen noodle hair. So, in high school, me and my homies, we were waiting for our parents to come scoop us up after school. And so we're all just sitting around chit-chatting. And one of the kids comes up and says, "Oh, hey, your hair looks like ramen noodles, kind of like how my hair looks like now." And my first thought was, okay, well, it doesn't look like ramen noodle hair, but everybody's laughing, whatever. Then they keep going on with the joke, saying, oh hey, how about you grow an afro? It'll be really funny. Like I look like a clown. So I'm just sitting there in the back of my mind wondering, why do you want me to do something for you just to make you laugh? Like, why is it that my hair is funny to you?
In my conversation about bettering the race with Dr. Elizabeth Horch Freeman, the topic of hair inevitably came up.
My experiences with my hair have shaped how I've come to understand who I am. And that is actually a really prevalent message among Afro-Latinas. They focus on their hair and people's responses to their hair as some of the first indications that they were different, that their Latinidad was not acceptable, that there was something wrong about them. And it's those experiences of having their hair stigmatized that lead them to asking these questions. So I think that it's important to center the body, to center our emotional experiences around our bodies as ways to understand the societies that we're living in.
In many cases, Afro-Latinos are socialized to see straight, permed hair as acceptable, presentable, and beautiful, while curly, tightly coiled, or poofy is seen as the opposite. People think I'm joking when I say my mom and I have dryers in our houses, and we sit under them for hours. I'm really bad at rolling up my hair, but I still do it anyways when I need to, because I'd rather have it a little wavy than in its natural state. But many Afro-Latinos are learning to reclaim their curls and embrace their natural hair.
I think I didn't actually start loving my hair until I decided to stop perming. At the time, the natural hair movement was just starting. Everyone was going natural, doing the big chop and all of that. And honestly, I was very scared to do the big chop. So just because I had never had hair that short in my whole life. So what I did was I just grew my hair out and I would trim the ends, every 3 or so months. It took 2 or 3 years for, all of the damaged hair to grow out. And it wasn't until 2 years ago that finally all of the hair that was chemically damaged, that I had cut it off. That was the last of the cut, and I ended up, with my hair that it is now.
It wasn't until I was 23 years old that I learned I should be wearing a do-rag or something to cover my hair when I go to sleep to keep my waves looking nice. My homie came up to me and he's like, yo, my mans, where's your silky? And I said, what's a silky? And he said, you don't know what a silky is? And so he immediately took me to the store, copped me like a little cheap, really thin silk do-rag, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna show you how to put it up. Don't wear it with the line on your hair. You're gonna have like that line down the middle, keep it on the outside and fold it around the front, and then you could like roll it in the back or just let the flap hang out. But he's like, yeah, make sure you wear this at night when you go to sleep. Or like now I got the silk pillow sheets. But it was kind of a journey learning how to take care of my hair. But now it's like I got my leave-in conditioner for certain days. I only wash it once a week. Like, I'm making sure I take care of my hair properly the way I'm supposed to with this type of hair.
First is the twisting souffle that I really like. I love my hair now. It was very difficult to learn how to style it and find what products worked and what brushes and what combs, what shampoos, conditioners, etc. to use, because my whole life I hadn't used any of those products. I didn't really know how to take care of my hair that is now. It was definitely a process, and I talked to a lot of my friends and just reaching out to people, seeing what products worked for them, trying so many different products. I tried so many different products before I found Meal Organics, which is what I use now that I love.
Social media has played a huge role in encouraging the natural hair movement. It's helped bring awareness and representation to a group of people who are often overlooked in mainstream media. And although the policing of hair can be more strict for women, men are a part of the movement too.
Okay, so first thing I did was I shampooed my hair using the coconut and hibiscus here. So I have 3C curls, and this just kind of gets those curls in the way that it's kind of meant for. As I grew older, I learned about my blackness in college and through conversations with family about where our ancestors were from. I learned how beautiful my curly hair was, why I had some privileges for having lighter colored skin compared to my family members, why I came off too black to some in the Latinx community, yet not black enough in the black community. I learned what products work best in my hair and what it needed to contain to be healthy, and even why humidity can be your worst nightmare. The same conversations I ran from about my identity when I was younger, I began to run towards and began to talk to anybody who asked about my identity or even what products I use.
And I'm gonna take just an old toothbrush and the Eco Styler to do my edges. I honestly wish that I would have realized sooner that, my hair is beautiful, and I wish that it wasn't taught to me that straight hair was the only pretty hair, or that my hair was pelo malo because it was curly and such. So I think it's been a long journey, and I'm still learning different techniques and different things to do and different products, but I have come a long way, and I really have come to love my hair.